Hello, everyone, and we are live. Welcome again to another That's So Johnson. Hey, babe, how you doing?
Hey everybody! Hey boo, what's going on?
I'm
I've
doing
been
good.
I've been blowing and posting you up like you a missing child for the last 14 days.
I see
Good to
that.
see
I see.
you. Good to
Now
see
you
you.
should have got
Good to
some.
see you.
You should have got some clearance from me because it was like one or two pictures. I was hoping you didn't post it. You know how I am
No,
with those pictures.
no, those was the pictures that I like, not
Okay.
that you like. That's out of my archives. Those are the pictures that I like.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and post our podcast and pin it to the top of my page. And we're going to go ahead and get started in a second. Let me see if there's anyone
Why you
joining.
sound so low?
I sound low?
Yeah,
Okay, hold on. Let me just make sure my volume is up, which my volume is up. What about now?
still sound low to me.
Okay, let me just change my camera. What about now?
Yeah,
Is that
sound
better?
a little bit better.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to That So Johnson. Hey, Kanimo, how you doing? Anybody on your live day? Anybody you want to shout out? How you doing?
I'm gonna shout out Casper. His
Who?
first Casper. His first name Casper. His last name Ghost.
Okay. so
You
that,
know, because the
there's
rest of his
nobody on your. So they not
yeah,
showing
the
you no
rest of his
love tonight.
cousins ain't came on yet.
Okay, they not showing you no love tonight. Okay, okay. Well, how be ever, it's still early. We have to give, our audience a few minutes to join us on tonight. How's the weather? Because it's cold here. I'm telling you. It's hot.
How cold is it?
It's cold enough for me to have this turtleneck on.
Um, the day was hot. It was decent. Regular Florida weather.
All right, all right. All right, let's see who's on. We have Kanemo. I'm gonna see who's watching us on tonight. That's so Johnson.
Okay, I wanna shout out Miss Michelle Riddick. Good
Hi,
evening and welcome
Michelle.
to That So Johnson.
Good evening. To those that's joining and you want to know what is that so Johnson about, this is a podcast that me and my husband came together and we thought that it would be cool just to talk about life, family, love, business, relationships, other things outside of ministry. At times we will hit some of the biblical things, but we just kind of want to deal with the family unit to bring some balance, to the kingdom. So I'm Tequila and my husband is Dasha. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, we are dealing with economics, we're dealing with money management and finances. And we know that that's a big topic and a big subject, especially for families. But before we get started, we have two segments that we always jump into. And the first is called Sip the Good News. And this is the good news because we don't gossip, but we do talk about the good news. So I'm going to turn that over to you, Shane, for our Sip the Good News for this podcast.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
No, because I can't hear you at all.
Okay, you can't hear me at all? Okay, I can hear you perfectly. Okay, go out and come back in. Go out the studio and come back in. Okay, Mr. Johnson is having some technical difficulties, but as he get ready to come back in, hello, Natasha. Thank you for joining us on tonight for another That So Johnson broadcast. Tonight we're talking about money management. We're talking about finances because we do know that money and money management, finances, budgeting all of those different things, they do affect the family unit. So we will be jumping into that really quickly. We do know that we're in an economy that you have to have a budget. This economy here, you have to have a budget. You're gonna have to manage your monies properly because things are not working for us, but there's a lot of things that's working against us. I don't know where my other half is at. He's having some problems on tonight. Hopefully my baby son will be able to get him on. As we're waiting on him, how are you guys doing on tonight? How are you guys doing? How are you doing tonight, Natasha? Okay, all is well. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, I think this is him coming in.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. See,
Okay,
look,
so
I keep telling y'all it's a conspiracy. Them
no, what
Dolphin
it is, you
fans,
getting old, sir. You
no,
getting old.
no,
No longer
listen.
these gadgets.
Listen, let me tell you something. Them Dolphin fans, they be plotting against me. I'm trying to tell you, because listen, they done got them a brand new addition to the team, and they already done went crazy talking about they going to the Super Bowl, and now
Man,
they want to play around with
I
the
re-
line.
I really don't think it's the Dolphins tonight. I think it's your AGE, your age catching up with you.
Everybody want to know the AGE.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and jump into the good news since you ate up some of our time trying to figure out technology, sir.
Anyway, listen, sipping the good news tonight. Listen, I want to shout out the one and only, the boss, Rick Ross. He showed love this week over to Miami Norland Senior High. He went over to Norland. He surprised the students. He came through in boss status as he usually and always does. Well, he loves his Miami Gardens, his Miami Gardens community, his Carroll City community. He came through and blessed. Listen, he blessed the kids tremendously. Certain kids they was blessed with scholarships, and then he had
That's
cash
good.
on hand. He had cash on hand. He counted out some Benjamins and gave it to some of the kids, So he just showed love and boss status. So tonight's sip the good news goes out to the boss himself, Ricky Ross.
Okay, that is awesome. That is awesome. And my son Caleb actually was able to share that information with us because Caleb is a senior at Norland. So we thank Mr. Ross for doing that because that is always amazing to give back. So this next segment is called Red Heart Award. Now, I've been really, really, really thinking about who to give my red heart to.
Mm-hmm.
Heart award is someone that we know or someone that we know of that we
Mm-hmm.
admire, that we feel like they are a phenomenal man or a phenomenal woman, and we just want
Mm-hmm.
their heart and their flowers while they can yet smell them and let them know that they're awesome and to continue the great work making an impact in the world. So tonight my red heart award, and this is where I need your help. I'm gonna tag her, but I need you guys to go and tag her as well. And because when she get on Facebook, I want her to see her name just blow up. So I need everybody to tag my Red Heart Award tonight goes to Chantrell Richardson.
All right.
Chantrell Richardson, and she is a phenomenal woman. The reason I believe that she's a phenomenal woman because one, not that she's just a first lady, but she's a entrepreneur, she's a mother, she's a grandmother, she's a supportive wife, she's a go-getter. She's a beautiful person inside out. So I just want to give my red heart tonight to Chantrell, just to let her know that continue to make an impact, because you never know who's watching you. You never know who admires you. You never know who you're touching. So continue to be awesome. So can you guys just tag her so that she can come back to this live sometime this week, and she will see all of the beautiful things that comes from That So Johnson, because we want to know that, we want her to know that she rocks on tonight. All right, babe, who your Red Heart Award goes to?
Okay, my Red Heart Award goes tonight to my spiritual lit brother and my lit brother in life. Goes by the name of Mr. Robert Spry the second. Listen,
Okay.
aka Bobo Spry. Listen, I'm nominating him tonight for the Red Heart Award because listen, this young man is doing his thing. Hey, I watched this young man come. He built from ground up. Now he is the senior leader at a ministry. He is the senior pastor. My little brother, he has already acquired him a couple of degrees. I believe right now he is working on his doctoral degree. So listen, not only is he educated, but he also got swag. And most of all, hey, listen, he is a man of God. So can y'all please go tag Robert Spry? That's ROBERT Spry, SPRY. Listen, the second. Make sure you put them the second on there. And y'all tag him and let him know that we showing him love over here at That's So Johnson podcast. Bobo, love you, sir. That is our
Awesome.
red hearts on tonight.
Awesome. Make sure, babe, that you tag him as well for those that don't know how to find him on Facebook. We want to just let him know that he is a phenomenal man, and to continue to make a difference in the world and the kingdom. So that's where our Red Heart Award goes to. This that completes this segment. So tonight we want to jump into our topic tonight, and tonight we're talking about finances. We're talking about money management, budgeting, saving. And we know that all of these things is very important to a family, because as we said before, if the money is not right, money can break up a marriage, it can tear up a family, it can tear up relationships. So we want to talk about those things tonight, and come up with some ideals and some things that may or may not work, things that you may can think about differently to change your situation. But before we jump into this, because this does affect our money and it affects our family, for those that don't know, come April 1st, um where I work at, I pretty much deal with insurances, and I deal with healthcare. And come April 1st, whether you guys know it or not, they are cutting the Medicaid benefit for thousands and thousands and thousands of Floridians. And that's adults, that's kids, that's elderly. So for some of the elderly, they may not qualify for the Part B. And the Part B is the outpatient portion. The Part A is for the admission. The Part B covers your doctor's appointments. So for some of our elderly, unfortunately, they may have to go over into their social security, to cover some doctor's visits and some things. So that's really, really ugly. A lot of the families are going to be cut from the Medicaid, those that have Medicaid and share cost Medicaid. A lot of families are going to be cut. And also with the Healthy Kids program, there will be cuts. Some people will qualify, but there are a lot of people that would not qualify for the Healthy Kids. So the reason I wanted to open up with that, because it's very important, I'm being honest, that we have a budget, and we live by a budget, and we have to prioritize. We know, especially in Florida, the cost of living is ridiculous. Um, Can you guys just post the cost of living is ridiculous? Can you guys just post that real quick for those that's coming in so that they'll know what we're talking about? The cost of living is ridiculous, and all my 40 something years of living, rent have never been 2,000 anything, 3,000, 4,000 anything. It's crazy, and outside of the rent being high, food is high. Babe, remember we went to Walmart just to get a few items. I don't even think I had 10 items in my buggy, and it went to like $100 just like that. And I'm like, wait, what did I? And I had to go back and look at my receipt just to see what was what. So it's really crucial times, you guys, and we're gonna have to really, as a family, we're gonna have to prioritize um some of the things that, and we're gonna first talk about cutbacks, babe. I believe that's the first thing that we talked about. Some of the things we're gonna have to start really cutting back and prioritizing what's really important. Is going to get a seafood bag important, or paying this 300 or something dollar light bill important? you know for those that don't like to cook, this is a good time to learn how to cook. It took me back to when I was young. We had a lot of, I don't want to call them struggle meals, but we had a lot of quick meals. Like, we didn't put so much emphasis on food because there were things like grilled cheese sandwiches we ate. um we used to put the butter on the bread with a little cinnamon on it, put that in the oven. That bologna, come on, that fried bologna, all of those things. We may have to start going back to some of that. But let me tell you, them meals back then was off the chain. I don't, I don't care what nobody said. That fried bologna was good, okay? But we may have to go back to the pork and beans and sausage and white rice, and some of those meals just to make it, because it's crazy right now. Babe,
Well,
what's
listen,
your feel on
listen. Um, I'm laughing because I remember when my mom, she used to go get some jack mackerel in the can,
Oh, you going all the way back? Okay.
and she'd do up the jack mackerel and put some bacon in it, and bust up some onions and put some seasoned salt and some black pepper on it, and make a big pot of rice and put that jack mackerel on top of that rice, and that was a meal. So the thing that the reason why I'm saying that is because the way that food has gone up, um, it's cheaper to die and it
Mm-hmm.
costs you more to live.
Mm-hmm. It's sad.
Now, in
It's
order for me to put that in perspective in what I am saying,
mm-hmm.
you could take $5 and go feed yourself at McDonald's with $5. You can get you about 2, 3 Mac chickens. You can get you a sweet tea and a small fry, and but we know that's cholesterol. We
Right.
understand that, that's gonna mess with our bad cholesterol level. That's gonna mess with our arteries. That might clog up our arteries. And to take $5 and go inside of Whole Foods,
You
you
can't
might
do
be
it.
able you might be able to come out of there with an apple, maybe.
One
Yeah,
apple.
what I said, an apple. I didn't say apples. I ain't even say a bag of apples. You might be able to come out there with an apple, because why? Because it costs you more to live, but it's cheaper to die
That's
than it
crazy.
is for you to live healthy. And that's crazy for
That's
the times
crazy.
that we're living in. And notice that you said, coming into the broadcast tonight, you said that they are cutting what now? Medicare? They're cutting
They're cutting
Medicare.
Medicaid April
They're
1st. They're
cutting
cutting back
Medicaid.
in
Now,
Florida. Thousands of
now
people are going to lose Medicaid.
And now my question to you is, where does that leave the people who is being cut? Where do they go from there once Medicaid is being cut from them? Where do they go?
What happens now is that they have to pay out of pocket. So places like Jackson Hospital, they have programs where you pay, but they have it's called a a Jackson card, and you pay, but you pay at a lesser rate. So what's gonna happen is that a lot of people are gonna have to pay out of pocket until they're able to fix this. But the sad part about it, the elderly, those are like, my heart really bleeds for our elderly, especially
Mm-hmm.
those that's gonna lose the Part B, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully they will fix it. Because for the elderly, it's already high because there's rent inflation. And I just got to say this because this is so funny. Adrian just put paper bag lunches is back in style. You better believe it. You better believe it. That brown bag is back, y'all. And it's not just for the kids at school, it's for the working people. It's for the working people. Y'all better take y'all lunch to work. Amen. But it's just what's happening. The cutbacks is just gonna affect in so many different areas, so many different capacities. And this is why it's important. And as we were saying, that we're gonna have to start now cutting back. Like, what can you afford? What Because this right now, can I be honest, this has nothing to do with your degree. Because even the people with degrees are struggling. Can I be honest? Lawyers are struggling, doctors are struggling, RN nurses are struggling, professionals are struggling, just as well as the middle class and the lower class people. Everybody's in a struggle right now because
Mm-hmm.
everybody this is hitting everyone. Where families
Mm-hmm.
have to come together, you got like two sets of families have to come together just to pay a $2,500 rent or mortgage. You have three sets of families have to come together, and then with the apartments now, they're so slick. Like, they're watching how many families are in these apartments. And I'm reminded of a friend of mine. She was saying that they pretty much kicked everyone out of the apartment complex that her daughter was in because they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go up $1,000. Now, that's crazy, y'all. If you're not living in Florida, this is what Florida is going through right now. They're not going up $100, $200. They're going up $1,000 on the rent. So if you
Mm-hmm.
was paying 1,500, about time it's time to renew your lease, it's going to be 2,500. If you was paying 1,900, it's going to be 3,200. And I'm talking about for two bedrooms, one bath. This is what Florida is really going through, and it's really hard pressing the people. So now, outside of the rent inflation, now the people are being hit with the health issue, the health insurance. So now, for a lot of this medication, it won't be covered. So now people have to pay out the pocket, not just to see the doctor, but now to get your medicine. To get your
Mm-hmm.
medicine. Other things that Medicaid cover, like casts and crutches and all of those things, all of that stuff is gonna be pay out of pocket. I'm just being honest. So the thing is that it's going to be crucial, y'all, that we really implement cutbacks. What are some of the things that we can cut back? Number one, I'm going to start with the ladies. It makes no sense to spend $300 for some hair. Can I be honest? Like, we really honestly have to, especially in our community. And it's really honestly only in our community because they know we're gonna buy it. They know we're gonna buy it. If they make the hair $1,000, they know someone in our community is gonna buy the hair for $1,000. So it makes no sense. Back then when that European weave and minky yak, see, I'm back in my high school days. When that stuff came out, the most we paid for hair was like $15, $17 a good pack, 20 something dollars. Now, everything, you go into a beauty supply store, the bundles. $200 and $300, $400, $500, for some hair. That makes no sense. I'm just being honest. It makes no sense. So there are things that and I know that everybody, you got these entrepreneurs, everybody have their price, but at some point we got to start thinking smart, thinking smart. If we keep wasting money on things
Mm-hmm.
that really is not a pure necessity, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if we don't learn how to set back, cut back and set budgets on some things, clothing, it makes no sense in this economy to spend $200 on clothing. It makes no sense to spend $400 on a pair of shoes. These phones, the cell phones, they're breaking every year. Do y'all notice how slick they be coming with the phones? The phones only work a couple of months, then they start slowing down and it's breaking. It's everything now is set to deplete you financially. So as a family, the family has to start now coming together and really making some real decisions. What can I cut back? What can I save? Because if you're living from paycheck to paycheck, you're in trouble. Because if your job cuts you today, to be on the safe side, can I be honest? You have to have at least 4 to 6 months saved of your rent or your mortgage so that you don't be put in a financial deficit. So if that's not your situation, if you're not in that bracket, then you need to start cutting back now. How can I save up at least 2 months just in case my job layoff? Just in case, something happened, I know that I got 2 months ahead, to bounce back on my feet. All right, babe,
You
jump in.
know, I was reading because I'm a reader. I'm always reading, and I was reading in um I believe I was reading the Wall Street Journal, and they were saying that now in this time that we're living in,
Mm-hmm.
that watch this, that at least 70% of Americans don't have $500 saved for an emergency.
Yeah.
And and the thing is that we're in a time now where the economy is shaky.
Mm-hmm.
They are saying that we're in a depression. I mean that we're in um we're finna go into a great recession, and the recession that we're going in, that is we're gonna be in it for a while, so we're gonna feel it. Um, Now, if you notice, packages at FedEx done slowed up, packages at UPS done slowed up. Listen, true enough, Amazon still turning corners. Amazon still knocking on doors. That's right now. But trust me, they're gonna begin to start slowing up after a while. Because why? Because we're in a time now where the economy is just shaky. This is the time where you got to sit on some money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being honest. This is the time where you really have to sit on some money, cheddar, pesos, moolah, cryptocurrency. You have to sit on dinero. You have to sit
Right.
on some money, because you can't spend everything you get. You can't spend everything you get, because if you spend everything you get, you're never going to have anything. And then outside of sitting on some money, this is also a good time. Now, watch this. I know this is going to mess some folk up. This is also a good time to invest in some money.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean by investing in some money? Invest in some stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I promise you, this is the best time. During recessions is when more millionaires are made. This is the generation that will produce more generations than, watch this, than our generation and our mothers and fathers' generation.
Mm-hmm.
This new generation. You want to know why? Why? Because this new generation, they ain't finna work for nobody, and you ain't finna be talking to them crazy.
Right.
I'm just being honest. You know what? We got some people to the ride. I just want to welcome them. I want to welcome Symphony to the ride. I want to welcome Shantavia. John, I see you, John. And look, we got the world famous Rodney on. Rodney, I see you, boy. What's going on?
Also,
Welcome
we
to the
have
ride.
Auntie Pearl is on. Hi, Auntie.
Hey, Auntie.
Tequila,
So,
Davana. Thank you all for joining us. Shanika, thank you all for joining us on tonight.
so listen. This is the best time to invest in some stock. Listen, this is the time for you to cut that stock money and take a little. I ain't say take all of it. Take a little bit of it out. Buy you a company. What you mean buy you a company? When you invest into a stock, you have literally bought that company. That is a business that you now own through the stock. It's time for and listen. It's time for you to invest some money, and it's time for you to save some money. The more
Okay,
listen, play tit for tat.
for someone that don't know, because everybody don't know about investment. And we're talking about saving, and now we're talking about investing because we just told them to save, but saving, investing is saving, believe it or not. It is saving.
Mhm.
But for someone that don't know about investment or even a platform, what are some good platforms that we use for our investments? Just share that.
Uh, listen, the best the best platform that I can direct anyone to, and the best to ever do it, is Wall Street Trapper. If you want to learn about stocks, and I'm talking about somebody that's going to take you by your hand and walk you, I'm talking about take you by your hand and walk you through how to be an investor, what is investments, um, how to get you to that place of investment, how to set up a portfolio properly, how to set up a trust and a will properly. The best to ever do it, to my opinion, is Wall Street Trapper. So that his platform can be found on it can be found on Instagram, it can be found on TikTok, it could be found on Facebook. But if I was to direct you to anyone, and look, he not paying me for none of this. It's just I just got to give the brother his props. I have to give the brother his respect because he's good at what he does. And if you want to learn about stock, Wall Street Trapper, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Okay, so let's move on. We wrote down aggressive saving. Aggressive saving. What is let's talk about some tips now. My husband know, like I am a let me tell you something. I don't like to spend money. And after I spend so much of money, I start feeling sick because I'm just not a person that just like to splurge. I like to think about what I'm spending. I like to think about, do I really need this now or can it wait till later? Some of the tips that I would like to start, well, I would like to share with you if you're just starting to learn how to save, start by little small things. The first thing I would say, okay, just say you're a person that can't hold a dollar. Like the minute you get money. Now, see, it's good we're talking about this because most of you should have your income tax check now, or you're getting it. If you're getting it, put it up, save it, take some of it, like my husband said, invest it so that you can pay yourself back. Don't spend your income tax check. That's a good start. So that's the first thing I would say. Like me, I don't get income tax checks anymore. I have to pay back taxes. So my good old days is over. But for you all that's getting income tax checks, this is a good start. This is a good start to say, okay, I'm gonna put some of my money up in I believe that was an IRA. I need Aaron on here because Aaron is good with this as well. But there are accounts that you can set up where you don't, they'll lock your money up where you can't touch it. And then if you just can't keep the money, you feel like you
What
just spend it, put it in an account and don't get a card
what
for it.
what you were speaking of, Bay, is called a Roth IRA.
Yes.
IRA.
Yes, yes, yes. So put it in an account and don't get a card. There are some people, and I get it. I used to, when I was younger, I used to want to buy everything. I had a shoe fetish. I bought 80 pairs of shoes at one time when I was depressed back in the 90s. That's when we had bakers downtown, and downtown had all of those. I was up under the state of depression because I was going through with my boyfriend at that time, and I just went shopping and I bought 80 pairs of shoes at one time. How I did it, I
Mm.
don't even know. But the thing is that, you know, we have to now start finding ways. So if you can't save money, then put it in an account and don't order a card for it. Leave it there. Leave it there. Another thing that you can do to aggressively save, we laughed about it earlier, but it's true. Take your lunch to work. Think about it. If you're spending $20 a day, if you go get breakfast is going to be $10. If you get lunch is going to be almost $20. That is $30 per day times 5 days, right? That's $150 a week. That's $300 2 weeks. This is on lunch and breakfast. That's $600 a month on lunch and breakfast. Think about it. A lot of times we have the money, but the money is being spent without thinking about, I'm just spending, I'm just buying, I'm just
Okay,
buying.
let me ask you this. 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 Are we living in a time now where one person can do it by themselves?
No. No. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because you have some, in some scenarios, you have some people that have to do it by themselves. So the thing is that, and I want to touch on that too, what you just said. So if you're that person that just have to do it by yourself, then you definitely have to think not just for today, not just for tomorrow, but you have to think a couple of months down the road. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important that you find ways to cut back. Coupons. I'm being honest. I hate coupons, but coupons actually work. So I know someone personally they did coupons and they got so much of stuff from coupon. They called it couponing. But they had so many things that they received from coupons. But these are things that can cut back. So if you're using coupons and you go to the store and your bill come up to $50, you use those coupons, it drops it down to $25. That's $25 that you can save and put up somewhere else. I get excited. I don't know about you guys, but I get excited when I go to Winn Dixie and put in my phone number and they cut back, or Walgreens and put in my phone number. So imagine if I use the coupons, what I would save. That's another way to save. Um, Gas. How can we save on gas? If you don't have to go
Buy a
anywhere.
Tesla. Buy a
Well,
Tesla.
listen, everybody can't buy
Listen.
a Tesla. Everybody
Listen.
can't buy
I
a
drove.
Tesla.
Listen. I drove around Atlanta
Yes, you
for
did.
3.5 days for
Yeah,
$12.
he sure enough did.
Hello.
We thinking about going to
Hello.
get a Tesla for real.
Hello. Hello. $12. I drove around Atlanta for three and a half
Yeah,
days for
unbelievable,
$12.
unbelievable.
Listen, it takes me $600 round trip in my truck to go to Atlanta. I'm not lying. That Infinity QX80, it takes $300 one way, $300
Yeah,
coming back because it burns nothing but premium. I'm telling you, what have we been doing with our
yeah.
life?
That Tesla, but everybody can't get a Tesla. But it woke, I'm being honest. It opened us up to seeing like, wait a minute. All we have
I'm
to do
never
is just
renting
go
a
and sit at a charger station for a few
I'm
minutes.
never renting another. Listen, I'm never renting another gasoline car a day in my life.
Yeah,
If Tesla got a bicycle, I want it. Shopping cart,
yeah.
I want it.
You
Buggy,
gave
I
a lot of
want it.
money.
Baby buggy, you get my head prophetess. Baby
You
buggy,
know,
I want it.
excuse me, our baby days are over, baby. Our baby days, you get ready for grandkids. Look, wait a minute. You don't knock me all off the topic. I am too old to be starting over. Okay. So let me get back to before I lose my train of thought. If you can't buy a Tesla, the ways that you can cut back on gas, if you really don't have to go anywhere, you know, don't just burn gas to burn gas. Or if you can carpool, or even if you can Uber, sometimes, those are ways to cut back. What are some other things that we can do to cut back? Oh, listen, electronics, like what happened with the kids? Like, Christmas is so expensive. I remember when I was younger, we had a Barbie doll, we got some coloring books, we had a doll house. It was so much cheaper. But this Christmas bill now, iPhones, iWatch, PlayStation, all this stuff. You spend about $3,000-$4,000 just to get through Christmas for little kids. And to me, it makes no sense. If you got a 6, 7, or 8 year old, why do they have a iPhone? Can I be honest? Why? Why do they have all of these expensive gadgets? Like, I don't know. I guess everybody thinks differently. But for me, that's just poor management. Because allow your kids to, I mean, we grew up where we had to play outside. When we wanted to double dutch,
Just not that generation.
and I know it's not that generation, but it was
This
cheaper.
is not that generation.
I get it, but
Hey, you ain't got to worry about them beating the street light because they ain't gonna be outside to beat the
they
street light.
showed
This is
you
not
can't
that
get no boogers to
generation.
go out the door.
This is not that generation. Listen, let me say let me say this. Listen, I I remember I remember I remember when you got put outside at 10 o'clock in the morning
Yep, you
and
better
you
not
you
come
was
back.
allowed to come back in for lunch and to get something to drink. But skip that. You really wasn't even able to come inside to get nothing to drink because I don't know about y'all, but we used to have to drink out the water hose. What
I
y'all know about that
Come
water
on,
hose?
come on. That hot water coming out
we
the
used
water
hey,
hose.
we used to have to drink the water out the water hose. And you know that water hose had a different type of taste to it
Yeah, it
because you
tastes
could
like
taste the
metal.
plastic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
So listen, this is not that generation. They ain't drinking out no water holes. They ain't eating no
Nah, they
mayonnaise
are
sandwiches.
bougie.
They not doing, the wish sandwiches. Ain't nobody trying to do that. Listen, they got Uber Eats, DoorDash,
Yes,
Grub Hub,
yes. You got 5-year-olds ordering door
So
ordering
listen,
their stuff to the
hey,
door, baby.
look, real talk. If you want to cut back some, you really have to. It's not so much of not doing what you want to do and have fun because I know everybody work, everybody need an outlet. Everybody, we and most people are entrepreneurs or business owners, and they need a break. But listen, in order for you to make sure that you make it in this time that we're living in financially, everybody got to listen. I don't care if you say, well, me and my family ain't never grew up on no budget. If we had it, we had it. We didn't, we didn't. Yeah, but you can't do that now in the days and time that we're living in. Everyone needs a budget. You need an entertainment budget. Okay, so listen, instead of paying 17.99 a ticket to go to AMC to go see a movie, we gonna go on discount Tuesdays where it's
Yeah,
$5.
$5, right.
Yeah,
That's a
we the
good way
whole
to cut
family
back.
we
Yeah.
We up in there for $20, and and then um we gonna roll up on the concession stand, and we can now we can order like we live in La Vida Loca, because we done beat the dough. If you want to cut back, if you want to cut back on some things, um a lot of times, we have to say, okay, this week I'm gonna do yada yada yada. Okay, you just can't run up in the store and just push the buggy and then just start pulling stuff out the shelves, especially if you at Publix. When you by the time you get to the cashier,
You're
you're
gonna
gonna have
be
about three, four,
$500.
$500 in
Yeah.
your buggy. But if you go in there with a list and say, okay, on Monday we doing spaghetti. On
Make a
Tuesday,
list. Yep.
we gonna do some pork chops. We gonna do some pork chops, some rice, and you know what, some other pork chop rice, mac and cheese, or whatever have you. On Wednesday, we gonna do on Wednesday, we gonna do some fish. We gonna grill some fish on Wednesday, or we gonna broil some fish on Wednesday. On Thursday, okay, what we doing Thursday? Thursday we doing chili and rice, or maybe something like that.
Right.
Okay, on Friday, okay, Friday. Come on, ain't nobody cooking on Friday. Ain't nobody cooking on Saturday. So
No
on
cooking.
Friday and Saturday, get it how you live. We
Make
either
some
gonna
hot
do some
wings or
pizza,
something. Yeah.
some hot wings, every man for himself. I remember, and when I was growing up in Chicago, because I was raised partly in Chicago. I remember in Chicago on Friday night, but that was pizza night. So we gonna get a big Giordano's. That's right, that Giordano's that's in
Yeah.
Orlando. It's originated from Chicago. We get a big Giordano's. My daddy come through the door, that Giordano's, and I be sitting there, bright-eyed, bushy-tail eyes this big, because I'm waiting for that Giordano's. On Saturday night, we know it's White Castle night. Mama ain't doing no cooking, so everybody, hey, get it how you live. And so we getting White Castle. Everybody in the house getting White Castle, because ain't no cooking going on. So the thing is that there's just the times that we living in. We have to
Right.
be more money conscious.
Right.
Anywhere that you can take a turn, a curve, a break. Even with our entrepreneurs, let me just holler at you for a minute. Our entrepreneurs, this is the best time for you to run sales. Run some sales at your business. Run some sales. Some online sales. Run some flash sales. Because right now, because people trying to save money, you run a flash sale, boy, they might just buy you all out in less than 30 minutes. So
Hmm.
the thing about it is that you just have to, at this time, you just got to move different. And
Right.
you got to move different. You got to think intelligent. You got to move, and you always, as a business owner, put yourself in the shoes of your customer. That way you think of how your customer think. As you think how you see, the thing with us, we're entertainment. So we can't run a flash sale on a movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
We can't go and tell somebody, hey, listen, we finna run a flash sale on making a movie. No, we can't do that. See, so our business is like totally different. But to those that's, you have online stores, you have retail stores, you do food, you do different arrangements, party planning, event planning, you got an event space. Listen, this is the time that y'all can come up. All y'all got to do is just work themselves right. Y'all can come up. But we definitely have to make sure that um we make sure that we do things to make sure that we are y'all servicing y'all customers, and at the same time you're making a profit. Now, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this right quick. I'm finna mess you up with this question.
Okay.
Say you have, and I'm just keeping it 100 because of the time we living in. Say you have, and I'm not talking about. No, I'm finna go across the board. Married folk, boyfriend, girlfriend, and folk that just living together.
Hmm.
Okay, this the bone I'm finna throw across the table. Do we do Dutch, or do we say you the man? you pay all the bills, or you the woman, you
No,
go pay
what
all the bills. No, 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 hold up before you answer. And the reason why I'm making this controversial is because we got different situations that's going on out here now. So I'm just keeping it
I'm
100.
I'm just gonna say this, so that we don't get too far off of our topic tonight. But it takes not just one, not just two, but it takes a whole house today. You know,
Uh-huh.
everybody's gonna have to come together on one accord. You know, families, they're gonna have to come together
Mm-hmm.
on one accord, and you can't be selfish. You know, if you have someone in your life that's just really being a liability and that's not really helping, you know, you really gonna have to go to the table and really consider, like, okay, is this a deficit for me or is this an addition for me? Because at the end of the time, or asset, I'm sorry, for me, because in a time that we're living in, you can't afford to carry and drag a load by yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when our kids get a certain age, young adults, if they're still at
Mm-hmm.
home, they should be helping their parents. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if we have family members that stand with us, they should be helping. No one should
Mm-hmm.
just be flat, you know, just sitting there, you know, eating up all of the food, using up all of the electricity and not contributing. You know, it has
Mm-hmm.
to be a joint effort. But I want to take a turn here because I know, you know, with us being pastors, we always you know, we teach on the principle of tithing and giving. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that in this recession, in this time, tithing and giving has really helped sustain my family. You know, there have been times where we've been up against the wall. There have been times where we really needed a breakthrough. We really needed, you know, God to really move. And every single time, and it's something that me and my husband learned. We learned how to seed our way out of things. We learned how to
Mm-hmm.
give our way out. You know, the principle is real. You give, you receive. That's it. That's just the law. You know, you cannot receive anything if you don't know how to give anything. And there have
Mm-hmm.
been times where, you know, I can look back where we really needed a miracle from God, and we will
Mm-hmm.
find someone and we'll plant a seed and sow into their life. And I guarantee you, either in that same month or in that same time frame, God will always turn around and open up a door. He'll always make a way. So even in our saving, um, um, in this economy, one thing you do not want to skip out on, that is giving. Whether, and I
Mm-hmm.
know we got all kind of people, you have some people that say, well, hey, I don't believe in church, I don't believe in giving to a church or whatever. Okay, find you a nonprofit organization. You know, find you something, some type of humanitarian organization. But we that's believers, we practice tithes and offering because we know that
Mm-hmm.
our giving is not to the mere man, but it's to God. You know, because when once we release that, it's God that sees it. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
we get our release. So I will say this, in this economy that we're living in, do not muzzle your seed, because it's the seed that's going to open up the door. I have so many testimonies time after time after time. Like even right now, we're in a breakthrough right now, babe, because of a seed, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that, you know, let's include that. You know, if you're going to cut something back, cut back the hair weave, cut back, cut back that seafood bag, that crab bag. You know, that those are the places that you cut, but don't cut your seeds because the seed
But
is going to bring you fruit in your life.
but you but you know what, babe, I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna go this route. When
We
it
got
comes,
5 minutes, babe.
okay, when
Okay.
it comes to you speaking to the preacher in me, see, I he wasn't even finna talk, but
Well, I know, you know, we try not to make this platform. We try, listen, this platform is, we try and balance it out. You know, everybody know we pastors. Everybody know that.
so
So we're not
listen.
preach to nobody. So we try and balance this out. But there are some times we can't help who we are. We are who we are. It just got to come out.
So listen, right now, God is undefeated when it comes to working miracles through a seed. I have not yet seen God fail when it comes to seeding and faith. They are unmatched. They listen. They are undefeated. But the thing is that you said a mouthful when you said to make sure that you seed, because oftentimes you could seed your way out. 100% of the time, you could seed your way out of a situation. Listen, just for the simple fact that the woman of God seen the man of God, watch this, seen the man of God, she understood that it was something about him that I needed him to stop by my house every time he came. Her and her husband, they watch this, the seed of hospitality. Watch this, reap them what? A son.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you now, none of this happened. Conception nor labor happened until that seed first was what? Deposited into the man of God's life. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you sow, and I'm speaking biblically now, when you sow into you, when you sow, if you whatever ministry you're sitting up under, when you sow into that leader,
Yeah.
trust me, trust me, favor has already put you on the clock.
Right. And it has been proven time after time after time after time after time. I know Shanika probably had to jump off, but I'll just give her testimony. Last week she texted me. She said, "Prophetess, I need your cash app." So I'm kind of old school, you guys. So I said, "Well, I got to set up a cash app, but I'm gonna send you my husband's cash app." So she said that the spirit of the Lord told her to sow $50 to me. So no, she said she was going to sow $50, but the spirit told her to sow 100. So however, she ended up sowing $103 to me last week. I think it was Thursday, last week Thursday. And then, like a couple of hours after that, I get a text to my phone, "Prophetess." So every time I get a text like that from her, God done did something for her. So I'm like, okay, I'm excited. What don't happen now? What don't happen? A few hours later, she ends up winning Woman of the Month on 100. What is it? 103 and the beat. 103 and the beat radio station. They
Mhm.
She ended up winning Woman of the Month for that Friday, and they gave her $1,000. So that
Wow.
fee of $100 that she sold just a couple of hours later, she got it back 10 times. So, and then that wasn't even the only thing. It was like three other things that she got right after that. So this is why I say all the time, seed work. And then when you seed, you also want to sow in good ground because, and I know we got to get off, but I just have to say this. There's so much that has happened in the church community. And this is one of the reasons why, and you guys know us, and every time I post on social media, I'm always either posting my kids, my husband. I try not to really use my social media for a pulpit because we have a church. And the reason I try not to do it because there's so much that has been going on. I'm just being honest in the kingdom of God. There's so many wars. There's so much going on. And I'm just being honest as a pastor myself, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to see apostles fighting apostles. You got all of these preachers, all of this profanity going on, all of this just all of this perverse stuff. It is just straight up embarrassing. And to the people now, they have lost faith. I'm just being honest in giving and seeding to ministries because of the foolishness. And then you have small churches like us. because we have a small church and we not trying to be a mega church. I put that out there. I'm not trying to be a mega church. If God has 20 people for us, we good. Those are the 20 people that I want to make sure that we everything that God put in us, we put in them, and they and their lives prosper and everything else. So I'm just at a place now. I'm just being honest where I'm just praying for the body of Christ because it's just so much going on. And the people now, you have people out there that want to give. They want to sow, but who do you really sow to? Who do you really give to? Because of all the foolishness. So this is what I was saying. I'm gonna end with this. If you happen to just jump on and catch this little bit of what I'm saying, pray and ask God, because there are still some good soil out there where when you sow, you can reap a harvest. There are still some good people out there. There are still some good churches. There are still some good pastors. So, you know, the Bible says you can tell a tree by the fruit it bear. So, we just got to go back to the way the word is lined up, and this is and get our own relationship with God, and God will lead and direct us on where to plant our seeds, where to sow, where we need to be, where we need to go. So that's all I wanted to say on that. So Johnson, thank you guys for tuning in. This is where we cover faith, families, we cover love, we cover business, we cover life. This is just a laid back platform that me and my husband just created, just to kind of chit chat so that you guys can see another side of us. We're not just preaching on the pulpit, but we're real people that live real lives. Babe, you made me hungry talking about that Jack Mac. I don't know. I may have to go back and make that.
Listen,
I may have to
listen,
make that for dinner.
listen. You make that Jack mackerel, FedEx it to me,
Okay.
UPS it to me. You know, as everyone can tell, we're not in the same place right now. So FedEx it to me, UPS it to me, and listen. Tomorrow is day 15, ma'am,
Okay.
and I got another picture that I'm gonna put up and
You know
another
what?
reel.
So we are technically 8 days away from making 28 years together officially.
That's right. So, today is day number 15. For those that don't know, I've been trolling my own timeline with pictures of this beautiful young lady. Tomorrow is day 15. I'm gonna put up another picture. I'm gonna put up another reel, and I'm doing that all the way up
What
to
was we
March
doing
the
8 days
23rd.
before our wedding day? I think back then, 8 days, I was nervous. 8 days away. I was nervous. I was going crazy because we had a big wedding. Eight was
Hmm.
Then we stopped talking. I think we stopped talking a week before we got married, right?
Yeah, because you had tried to get
Yeah, you stopped beeping me because we had beepers back then. You
yeah,
couldn't
you
hit me up on my page.
yeah, so you were trying to talk greasy to me for a minute. So nah.
8 days.
But
Well,
listen,
that's amazing, babe. Now that I'm really sitting back thinking this was 1 week before our wedding day.
no, let me show you how
One
different. Let
week
me show you
before
how
our
different the
wedding day.
time. Let me show you how different the times is. We had a one, two, three, a four layer, a four
Public
tier
space.
cake
Yep.
with the stairs coming around, with
Yep.
the fountain in the middle for less than $400.
Yep. 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 I think our cake was 200 and something dollars. I
Yeah,
think.
it was like two something.
Yeah.
Try to get that now. That's
Yeah.
gonna be a thousand
And
dollar cake
then
right
you
now.
rented the Bentley, right? No, we had a Rolls Royce, right?
No, we had a Rolls Royce convertible.
Yep. And that was what, 100 and something dollars, I think.
Yeah, try to rent one now.
Yeah.
and that was and that was a vintage convertible at that. So
Yeah.
but see, listen, um, I am rolling out these pics and these reels all the way up till March the 23rd, and
23rd.
I have a big surprise for her that she don't know nothing about, and you're
Okay.
not gonna know anything about it. Um,
Well, I'm
I
gonna go.
think
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
get it out of Dontrell. If Dontrell know, I'm gonna go get it out of him.
well, that's the reason why he don't know. So that's
Okay.
you just gonna be wasting your time because I know that's your go-to person. So listen. With that being said, y'all listen. Most of all, on this platform, if you don't know, run and go tell somebody. We love y'all, and ain't nothing
We
that
love
y'all
you
can do about it.
guys. Y'all be
And
safe.
listen, the worst investment that you can ever make in life is a Miami Dolphin football ticket. Do not do it. Don't do it.
Hey sis, Keisha Carvel is on. Hi Prophetess, how you doing? Hey
Hey, listen.
Aisha,
Hold
Demetrius.
up. Let me run down right quick. Because I got to look on another screen. Okay. Once again to Shantavia, John, I see you. To Rossima, I see you, Rossima. To Rodney, yes sir. To Caleb, to Victor, to Miss Humphreys. How you doing, Miss Humphreys?
Hi,
Mother
Mr.
Humphreys,
Humphries.
and to fam, Victoria, how you doing?
Hey
You and Johnny,
sis.
how y'all doing?
Hey
And
sis.
to my boss man over here, Mr. Aaron Avon Johnson. You about to get me fired. He know I was moonlight. You about to get me fired. I can't be hanging out with you. Hello? Somebody please call 911.
Okay, listen, you guys, we love y'all. Y'all be safe out here. And all jokes aside, if you're not praying, pray over your life, pray over your children, pray together. The most important thing tonight, we talked about finances tonight. Pray over your finances. We do that all the time. Before we spend a dime, we ask God to stretch our money so that we're able to meet every bill
And
that needs
and
to be met.
also and also to Jess Burner. I see you.
Okay,
Listen, we
guys.
thank you. We thank y'all for being on the ride with us on tonight. So, listen, that's it. We got to run. We got to go. Listen, I'm finna go eat. What you finna go do?
Actually, I'm gonna jump on the computer. I have a couple of things I need to take care of tonight.
Okay, all right.
I miss you.
So, how we ending this?
I'm gonna end this by telling the world I love my husband. He is my king, my priest, my prophet.
Oh, I've been so many places, mm, seen so
He's a,
many things.
he's a
The
comedian that never
love
made it to the
seemed as
improv.
delectable as you.
But
More
you guys, all
beautiful
jokes
than a
aside,
Mona
okay,
Lisa.
babe,
Now, see,
I'm going.
if I was back in my 20s when we first met, my mind's telling me
You
no.
know what? That's it. That's it. You just messed up our whole feed tonight. That's it. That's it. You need to cut it out. I'm sorry. All right, you guys. My husband, I don't know. He loves to play. He loves jokes. All right. Good night, everybody.